Good Tuesday morning, my friends. MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa here with the MLive Morning Weather Update. I think we have it all figured out too. Just a little rant. I read a story from a newspaper, and they must have a reporter writing weather stories. Wow. For hurting the field of meteorology by claiming today is going to be extremely severe everywhere, and it's not. So let's get on into it. I won't rant too much here, but let's get on into it. Let's say first off hi to Larry Puskar in Charlevoix. I love saying that, just to have people say, don't you know it's not Charlevoix, it's Charlevoix. I used to do that in Iowa when I first started. I would say, and out in Des Moines, and they would get calls. Back then, people called the TV stations. All right, here we go. All right, so can I interest anybody in drier, less humid air? No, I didn't think so. I think you'd want to stay there, huh? Well, hey, it is summer, right? So we might as well take this while we can get it, because we got the other side coming too someday. So this is the dew point forecast, and I understand that this is a very difficult kind of weather thing for people to grasp. The dew point is the temperature. The dew point is a temperature, dew point of 70 degrees. So it means that if all of a sudden, if it was 90, 100, 80, or whatever, and all of a sudden the air was able to cool to 70 degrees without changing other things, all of the moisture in the air would not be able to be held in water vapor. It would condense. You'd have fog, you'd have dew, you'd have sweat on the windows, all that good stuff. Very similar to taking the beer can out of the refrigerator. It cools the air down, and at some point it reaches the dew point, and you get the condensation on the outside of the beer can. So the main thing for you is 70-degree dew points or more, very muggy for us in Michigan. 65 to 70, slightly muggy. 60 to 65, not terrible. Less than 60, very dry, refreshing air. So here is our dew point forecast, and it's still going to take about 48 hours, I figure, for it to work the cooler air. Hey, Kyle Edmark, thank you very much. Heavily relied on my information. I don't have it always right, but I feel like I got a very good pulse on what's going on. And I feel like when I don't have a good pulse, that's the best forecast I can give you, is I'm not really sure about exactly how things will lay out on a certain day. But that's kind of rare. That's a handful of days out of the year. So here's your dew point forecast, okay? And note, as we go into the afternoon, it's still very muggy in a lot of places. We're starting to see where we get these impulses of little bits of dry air, and you might feel like, wow, it feels a little drier here in, say, Detroit, and then you drive west, wow, it feels very muggy. We're in that day or so where it'll vary a lot, but look at those dew points this afternoon in the southern third of the state, still in the 70s, and you can see this model has little 50s and comfortable. Now we go into tomorrow afternoon, and it's starting to inch farther south, toward, say, Clare, Mount Pleasant, Big Rapids by tomorrow afternoon. Still kind of muggy in the southern half of the state at 65 to 70. Then as you get into Wednesday evening, you start to really take shape. This is overnight Wednesday night. The 50s for dew points come down into southern lower, so you will have dried out. And as we get to Thursday afternoon, when you wake up Thursday morning, you probably will feel like it's a whole different weather pattern, and that continues to ooze on in. All right, let's get to the day-to-day weather. So we do have the heat coming. Radar shows just some spotty showers right now, nothing too ominous. What I do want to point out is that in this kind of pattern, clumps of thunderstorms can atmosphere. that the models try to know that if they forecast that clump of thunderstorms correctly. But if they forecast it a little bit wrong, then the atmosphere is wrong after that. So it's kind of a short-term forecast for exactly where the clumps of thunderstorms will be, and that's where our high-resolution rapid refresh comes in. And we believe it pretty good for, you know, the first 6 hours until things get going. So look at the high-resolution rapid refresh. And this is into this evening, 11 o'clock. It doesn't really show much. I kind of believe it because other models show the same thing. Let's just take a little tour of other models. This is the rapid refresh in an ensemble mode. What looks like it's going to be better than just the rapid refresh by itself. It shows the same thing. Really not much today. Let's grab the North America model. I like this one too. New run coming in. Let's see. We got 10 hours of it. See what it does for today. And when there's a dominant idea, you start to believe it. This is through 5 o'clock. Okay, so that same model, you know, out in its older run, this is the total precip off of it. What I'm seeing is Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday night, Thursday, it becomes more active. Southern third, southern half of the state. This is the North American model's total precip forecast through Thursday once the front has swept through. So I would say quiet today for most of us. I would say tomorrow into Thursday morning becomes more active. We'll see that here on the European model. Today is bad for freezing up. What does that mean? Not sure. Okay. Oh, I got you. The video is freezing up. Yeah. Not much I can do about that, I guess. And so here is, let's go back. So we're going to call today pretty quiet. This is tomorrow afternoon and evening, early evening, Wednesday night to sunrise Thursday, Thursday morning into early afternoon, and then down. So right now it appears as though sometime Wednesday night or Thursday you get a pretty solid heavy rain in the southern part of the state, Ann Arbor, Detroit, Kalamazoo, Battle Creek, Jackson. Then Friday we go into a northeast wind, very comfortable, and we go into the weekend. The weekend looks very calm winds, lots of sunshine, unless there's smoke in the air. That's hard to really kind of predict. And then we go into next week looking fairly dry. Looks like we might not have the next good chance of rain until late next week. So here's a total precip off of that European model. It's a little farther south than the North American model. It has 2-inch rains in the southwest corner, very southwest corner. Tapers already to Grand Rapids. So we'll have to see how that goes. Hey, let's take a look and see if we can let's grab the European's ensemble mode just to see how much different it is. And this is what it does is it brings the 1-inch rains or the half-inch rains a little farther north up to Grand Rapids. Sometimes there's a real sharp cutoff on these things, almost like a snowstorm where you go from heavy snow to nothing on the north side. Okay, so we're still sweltering. Anywhere I would say from south of Cadillac, third day in a row mentioned, maybe fourth day. And I love Cadillac. Cadillac is a great little town. 90 in Mount Pleasant and all points southward along with high humidity. But Traverse City, 84 today. You get to Mackinac City, beautiful day, high temperature in the upper 70s, UP, beautiful. Tomorrow, the cooler air continues to infiltrate. Still warm and humid in the far southeast, otherwise 80 to 82, still on the humid side. Then by Thursday, takes over. And you're looking at temperatures in the 70s for highs, mid to upper 70s Thursday. And look at Friday, 78, let's call it, most everywhere. Some 75s. Saturday, couple of degrees up, beautiful summer day Saturday. You know what Saturday, you know what this weekend would be really a good weekend for is, now I can't speak to the crowds, but tubing, floating down a river like Platte River in Benzie County, or some of these, well, we got probably 100 rivers that people float inner tubes down. This weekend, perfect for that. No threat of storms on you, which there usually is in something like that. Not much wind. Not extremely hot, but that full sunshine at 80 and 82 and 83 degrees feels like 90. So make those plans. Again, I probably can't speak to the crowd level, which I would figure it would be pretty high. And if you're one of those that says, well, I want to not do it with the crowds, here's Sunday, back to the mid to upper 80s, and Monday looks like a great day for that too, starting to get warmer. So early next week, Monday, Tuesday, would be great too. One last thing. I'm going to probably write about this soon is, I'm starting to see the westerlies, the jet stream, which is up in Canada now, typically is. I'm starting to see 2 weeks out, all the models showing starting to inch back southward, which is probably pretty, makes me wonder if the second half of August or early September could have a severe weather outbreak. And note that we've had 30 tornadoes in our state so far this year. I wrote a story about it yesterday that puts us at 6th most tornadoes in a year. Most tornadoes, 1974, the day that got me started in meteorology, actually, April 3rd, 4th, got me started, I'm not that old, got me interested in it as a kid, I guess I should say, that we had 39 tornadoes in that year. So let's look at the upper airflow off of the European in the ensemble mode. Here's one thing. See the big circle in the middle of the country? That's the hot dome. And then as we go to Saturday and Sunday, the hot dome flattening out. And the upper airflow starting to look a little different, looking a little wavy. Looks like waves come in more into the Dakotas rather than out of central Canada and southward. And we're out to August 11th. Don't get me wrong, this is still a summer pattern. Still a summer pattern, but you're starting to see what we call the westerlies, the jet stream. You're starting to see it show up a little farther south with a little bit stronger disturbances in it, and that is all signs of the season to come after summer. Still plenty of summer though. And remember that one of our strongest climate trends is warmer falls than what we've had in the past decades. And so what we see a lot of times is we see this look toward fall coming, and then boom, it backs off and we get another 2, 3, 4 weeks of rip-roaring heat as we head into September. So it's nothing to worry about just yet if you're not ready for summer to end, but I do see it. That's the one upside, downside to my job. I see 2 weeks out the beginnings of the next season way up to the north. So there you have it. This is the MLive morning weather update. I would like to ask you to make sure you get your weather information from a degreed meteorologist. Really is the best thing to do. Why? Because that person has put the energy into it to become something because they're interested in it. And so they're probably going to do a pretty good job. It does not have to be me. Of course, you're watching, so it's me. But, you know, Wood TV has some good meteorologists, and the TV stations in Detroit has some good meteorologists. Flint, Saginaw, Chris Eastlick, J.R. Kurtek, they've been there a long time. Get your weather information from that. If you're going to read it on the internet, the first thing you want to do is read the name of the person that wrote that. First thing, person that wrote that. Who is that person? Do I know? Do they have a link? Click on a link. If it says a Bachelor of Science in Meteorology, then go with that. If it says also covers weather and nature, don't go with that. All right, I'll shut up now. Thank you for indulging me. I'm MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. This has been the MLive Morning Weather Update. Take care.